Hi friends. So once again welcome to this new session on AI generalist mindset. So here it is having one more project about AI model which is based on Ollama, and then it is going to help the CVs which are going to be uploaded on internal job portals, so parsing the unstructured data from that particular CV. So let's get started. So what is the problem statement? So the problem statement is that if you apply on different websites for job, sometimes you have to redirect to the different company internal portals, and on that portal they will ask you to fill all the data one by one. Instead of that, they will simply ask, okay, upload your CV, or you can directly go via LinkedIn, and it will extract the required data from that LinkedIn and fill the internal form. So for example, let's say this is one form. Okay, this is one form, and here what it is saying is we want to apply for a particular job, and the internal portal wants some fixed data to be available in their system. So it can be your first name, last name, and address and those kind of thing, your contact details. Okay, so like this, your education details, your first job, the job before that, and the job before that. So a lot of thing has to be extracted from your CV. Now, one thing is you can do manually, or what you can do, you can have some kind of a system which will extract the relevant data from your CV and then autofill this. So now there is no fixed format to have this data. It is unstructured data because everybody has different CV formats. It is a Word, PDF, and in that also they are using different formats. So extracting that data one by one or manually is tedious and difficult. So that's why this Ollama based model uh, I have designed. So here, let's see. So again, the basic steps: you have to download the Ollama, install it, and you have to pull a typical AI model. So I'm using this GPT OSS 120 billion. So let me show this. So I have logged into Ollama. Okay, I've logged in, and I'm using this GPT OSS. So this is OpenAI's open weight model designed for powerful reasoning and so on. So this model I'm using, if you see, it is quite popular, 6.2 million download, and this is again used by OpenAI ChatGPT, and I'm going to use this one, GPT OSS 120 billion parameters. So 120 billion parameters is a huge number. So we can make a lot of justice to what data extract, what extraction activity, what we'll be doing. So it is for that. I'm using the cloud-based model because cloud-based model is a bit fast. You can use something which is on local. So if you download on local, you see there's a different size, 20 billion parameters, 120 billion parameters, 65 GB. So if you do it on local, you don't have to pay anything. And if you use cloud, then you have to pay a certain amount to Ollama. Now in Ollama, the thing is, it is free for, it is having some credits. So if you see that there is a weekly session usage, so I can, I've never exceeded, let's say 10% also. So you can safely try the cloud model for now. Okay, right. So let's proceed. So installation steps, pros and cons. So cloud model, pros and cons. Pros is very fast. Cons is you have to pay a fees. But then if you don't exceed the credit, then that's fine. Yeah, and sign in. So I have signed in already in the Ollama, and I have a desktop Ollama desktop tool also. So if you go to settings, you see I have logged in already. So from here you can generate the key, the Ollama key, and that can be used in your code. Right. So setup is done. Now a little bit about the RAG. So this AI model, it works on basically RAG, retrieve, augment, and generation. So it's simple. So the LLM model, the AI LLM model, has brain. As we have seen, it is having 120 billion parameters processed. So it has a considerable brain. So what we will do, we will pass on the PDF or the your CV data, different formats. If it is Word, PDF, um, different style and those kind of thing, and we will pass on the query, that okay, from this CV I want to know the first name, last name, address, all these things, all the fields what we have seen here. Okay, you see all these fields, of course not the password and those things, but all the fields which are simple and easy to extract. So that fields I can ask the LLM to extract from this data, which is pretty simple. So, and what I want is I want the fields data in a JSON format. So in JSON format, it is easy for me to do further processing and many other things. Or I can dump the output in a CSV file, right? So data query, and then it will have its brain. So, and it will give you the output. So retrieve, augment, and generate. So response, you can tell the system or the AI model in which format I want the response. Right. So let's proceed. So yeah, as I mentioned, so PDF text file extraction, then retrieve, augment. So it will involve chunking and embedding data, and some internal algorithm is there, and generate the answer, better response. Okay, right. So the first thing, apart from Python code and those things, what we need is basically the query. Okay, so the query, what we are going to send it to the AI LLM. Okay, so that query design is a bit important. So the more precise you have the query, the more refined and correct data you will be able to extract from the data source. Let's say from the CV or from the PDF or the document file. Right. So designing a prompt. So let's see the code. Okay, this one. So if you see this one, so again the prompt has different techniques. So you can have different types of prompts. For example, co-star or COT. So this is, I've used the RISE, role, instruction, steps, and end goal. So RISE, you can have RODES, you can have many different types of uh, prompt types are there. So it depends on how do you perceive it. So if you see here, I have given role 2 times. So I want to have the AI model to have multiple roles. So that is also possible. So the role is, you are a technical English specialist for human resource international interviews and so on. Focus on American, European companies. Okay. Additional role, strategic advisor, optimizing human capital through localized acquisition retention. So this is basically high level role. Okay. High level role. Instruction is to extract the following items from the given CV. Okay. So I want a name, address, phone number, current location, state, professional summary or the CV headline, current job title, okay, current company name, and in which industry currently is working, the person is working on. So here we can have current job titles, we can have previous job title, we can have previous current -1, current -2 job titles. So that kind of details we can extract. Latest job duration, so it can intelligently calculate the person who is in this job is working for, let's say, 2 years, 3 years, or so on and so on. Some skills, okay, hard skills, technical proficiencies, educational credential, certification, and licenses, right? So again, whatever fields are there in the internal job portal, we can have n number of fields that we want to be extracted. Okay, steps. So now, okay, it can extract this data now in what format we want. So down the extracted data in a JSON format. So JSON format is very easy to do further processing. We can do key value pair processing in Python or any other language, and we can play with it, play with the data. So below is a list of key in JSON. So add corresponding value to the key. So okay, so the list will be having the keys will be name as a key, email address as a key, phone number as a key, and so on. So like this, maybe 10 to 20, 10 to 15 parameters can have as a key, and then the extracted data will be the value. Okay, of course, if for example, if there is no, for example, there's no certification or licenses, so JSON will be empty, or it will be null, or it will be any. Okay, so simple. Now, end goal is to have consolidated data, detailed, segregated info of all the candidates. Okay, so I will use this particular utility not to extract data only from one CV. Maybe I will use it from, let's say, 100 200 CVs. So then at the end, when I extracted all the data, then I will have to have consolidated result. Okay, so we will see that also. So let me show. So I have gathered some probably 40 50 CVs online. Okay, some templates, some real CV, some, some name is changed and those kind of things. So there's a lot of CVs. Some are in doc format, some are in PDF format, and so on. So what we will be doing is we will be converting everything into PDF. Okay, if it is PDF, no problem. If it is not, then we'll convert into PDF, and then that PDF data we are going to extract as per our query, what we are going to pass it to the AI model. Okay, right. So now if you see this, all the files which are there, they are randomly named. So I have, what I've done, I have a new folder called this, so CV in and CV out. In CV out, I'm going to take, let's say, 5 or 10 PDF and 10 document file, and I will put it here, and I will rename them just to have uniform name of the file. And then I'm going to start the AI model, which will extract the data from the PDF file, and then it will generate the response also, that we will see in the code. Okay, and it will finally dump it in a CSV file. Okay, now this is a earlier generated CSV file, so let's have a look. Okay, so if you can see, it has generated around 19 profiles. Okay, the data of 19 CVs. So although the AI model has lot of challenges in terms of identifying a particular data point from the CV. Just for example, the name. Okay, so the name should be a person name, but if in the CV itself, if it is mentioned like name is equal to name, email equal to email address, and so on, then it doesn't make sense. Okay, so that is a kind of a limitation, I would say. But look at it, we just by running a program for, let's say, 1 minute or 2 minutes, you can extract the data of, let's say, 20 30 40 CVs. So that is saving a lot of time. So that is a takeaway from here. Okay, so current location, profession, so all the data point what we have given, so that it is to extract. Okay, right. So it's hard skills, so hard skills, communication, hard skills, voice acting, breathe working, so and so on and so on. Right. Of course, this format can be improved. Okay, so this file I'm going to delete for now, and in the CV out also there is nothing right now. Okay, so let's get started. Right. So this entire source code is available in the GitHub. Okay, I will put the link in the description. So entire source code is available, and the requirement txt everything. So yeah, I have given a screenshot like in the internal job portal, what are the fields are there. So I have just taken some generic fields, but it is up to you. You can take any field what you want. Okay, and the installation steps and running steps also. Okay, so I'm using this once again, the GPT 120 billion cloud AI model. Right. So just to explain the code, so first file is about all the global variables and everything. Then the second file, as I said, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take 5 to 10 document file, 5 to 10 PDF file, and I will put it here in the separate folder, and I will rename them just for uniformity. Okay, so let's do it. So you have to be logged into Ollama already, obviously. So as you can see, I have to log in. So I have logged in already. Just to explain the code, so basically it is going to read each and every file, and so I was trying for the file type PDF and docx, but there are sometimes files of type PNG, JPG, which are not that much popular. Normally the CV is sent in the document or PDF format, but that additional thing also I have covered. So the challenge here in this image type is the data extraction. So we need to have a powerful OCR to extract the characters and those things from the CV. So for now I have just considered the PDF and docx file. Okay, so it is finished. So let's go to the CV out folder. So if you see in the CV out folder, there are 10 PDF which are doc. So docx to PDF I have converted, and the normal PDF I have converted. Okay, so whenever I'll be doing the RAG extraction, I will not be using the docx file. I will be using the PDF file only. Okay, right. So full report is not yet generated. So let's see the next file which will generate the full report. Now this is the prompt. So I'm just going to close it. Now here let's start some basic stuff. Okay, so basically I am looping based on each PDF file in the this folder, CV out folder. I'm checking if it is a PDF file. Okay, ends with PDF, and then I'm going to read the PDF, the content of the PDF. So that will act. So every page. So I'll be combining the page content of every page into one variable. So that will act as my source. Okay, so as we have seen. So this is the extraction and those things. So this part is the content generation. Okay, content generation. Okay, and there are some exception handling and all. And then I have, obviously I need to have a prompt. So as we have seen, this is the prompt. So there are two roles: instructions, steps, and end goal. Okay, so this is the prompt I will be passing to the Ollama, to the AI model. So I have a function called as RAG summarize. So RAG summarize. So given the document and the query, retrieve top relevant chunks and use them to prompt the LLM. So now the PDF content of the document, so that will be chunked. This is internal to RAG. It is working on this chunking and embedding mechanism. So chunking the data and then sentence transformer. So this is a internal model also it will be using. This model is I'm using the not the cloud one, the local one. Okay, and then embedding the chunks. Okay, and then from the chunks and the embeddings and the embedder, with this model I am going to pass on this query and extract the relevant chunks. Okay, and this is what is the required thing. Okay, okay, so I have the required chunks, and to that chunks I'm going to pass this query and this context. Okay, and finally this is going to be called using the Ollama library or Ollama generate method. So here if you see Ollama cloud model, so I'm using the Ollama cloud model, which is GPT OSS 120 billion cloud. Okay, and this is the internal prompt and the response which I am getting. Okay, that I am going to return. Now sometimes what happens, this response may not be correct. So although in the prompt I have asked uh, the response to be having in the JSON format, but sometimes it may sometimes fail. So for that we need to have a try catch. Okay, that is why this is a try catch. So RAG summarize, this is part of RAG summarize, so this is part of try catch. Okay, and we need to clean up the response. So the summary we need to clean up. Sometimes it is not in a pure JSON format, it is a text format. So JSON in a text variable, so that we have to clean up. So this all is a cleanup part, and finally we get the JSON. So now this JSON we can do normalize using pandas or different libraries, and then that data frame we are going to dump to a CSV file, and the CSV file will be this one, final report.csv. Okay, right. So now let's run this. So now this will run for these many files, only the PDF files from this folder, and we will have a final output. So let's run this. So if it fails, it will give one exception, and that is it will print one something called as RAG summary error occurred. Okay, which is okay. Right. So first file .pdf. Okay, so if you see the response is generated, which is fantastic. Again, you see it is in JSON format, name this thing, email address this thing, so key value pair, second file, third file. So one thing here is this dumping the JSON in the CSV file. So in the CSV file, the dumping happens in a append mode. Okay, so it's not like every time only the one row item will be available. It will be existing file and then append some new data inside it. By the time, let's check the file also. So do you see now it is 9 KB. It was not there, so now this file is present, 10 KB. So size is increasing. That means the data is getting appended in the CSV file. Now, one more thing here is because I am using the cloud-based GPT. Okay, so if you go to Ollama cloud usage, if you see it is just 0.3%. If I just refresh, 0.7%. So because I am running it, let's say for 20 PDF files, so it is obviously talking to the cloud-based AI model, which is going to consume some bandwidth and some cost to the Ollama. So that is why, so I am not using the full credit. Okay, I am not. Probably I will not exceed even 10% also. So if it exceeds 100%, then obviously you have to think about it. But then it's not that much practical. So 10 files it has done. Okay, now I will start CV PDF 00. Okay, all done. CV PDF 0. Okay, so all files are done. Okay, now let's see the CSV file content, which is in this file. So 22 KB. Okay, impressive. Right. So this is what is we wanted. Okay, so we have a Excel or we have a JSON formatted data which is dumped into a CSV file, and all the required data which is there for one particular person. So let me just do copy, open a new sheet, and then paste spatial. I will do a transpose. So yeah, so now you see, just for the sake, so this person, this email ID, contact number, that person is an actor, and job description, some uh, fees or something, and then uh, the skills, okay, and maybe the academic percentage and some other additional information. So in one shot we can have the details for the candidate, not only one candidate, but we can have details for all the candidates, which again, as I said, which can be auto filled in this kind of portals already. So we have seen a so this we can have technical like software engineering related fields or any other fields. Okay, right. So next, pitfalls and limitations. Right. So Here what happens, we are assuming that the input PDF or the document file is human readable, it is in a proper format. But sometimes what happens, it might not be in a proper format which is machine readable. So just to give you an example, these two series, okay, so if you see this is a PDF, okay, I can see there is a text also. If it is an image, I cannot able to select. Now I can able to select, okay. Now if you see, there is a small blurring here, okay, there is a small blurring here, the for every character. So this is a small blurring. So what happens when the data is getting extracted from this kind of PDF, the algorithm which extracts this may not identify correct data. Okay, it might at certain point of time it might say it is a the data format is incorrect. So those kind of PDF we have to be very careful, and we can ask the candidate to send the data again, or we can go to online tools where it can restructure this data in a format which is machine readable. I would say more than 80% machine readable, so that it can be useful, or it can be useful for our utility. Okay, right. Apart from this, uh, we can extract the data not only from a PDF or Word file. We can extract from the image also, like a JPG folder or PNG file. But again, the OCR which extracts data has to be that much powerful. So either we can have paid or some kind of a highly powerful OCRs, or we can ask simply the candidate that upload the CV or resume in the Word or PDF file only. So that makes it very easy. All right. So that's about it. If you get a good information and good knowledge, please like and share this YouTube video and channel. Thank you.